Hey, before we start the show, just wanted to let you know that No Inner Monologue is available on all your favorite podcast providers and now on YouTube. Don't forget to check us out on social media at No Inner Pod on Instagram and Twitter and No Inner Monologue on Facebook. Now, enjoy the show. Previously on No Inner Monologue.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we have the first episode of a really weird web series.
I mean,
But I'm not doing it with you two.
this is how we write the show. From the 7-ish Studios in Mississauga, Ontario, it's the No Inner Monologue podcast. Hey, welcome back to the No Inner Monologue podcast. People from Worth and around the universe.
Universe.
That's a little note to the topic of today's episode, really.
Space Case Manny.
Among other things. With me is Manuel, creepiest of uncles, creepy Uncle Manny Lugin.
That's on my birth certificate now, by the way.
Creepy Uncle Manny?
Yeah.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
As well as your 15 other names.
Oh, I have one of them like, oh no, I
You've
take
got
a
a
print.
yeah,
I take a printer ink on my birth certificate.
Yeah, you're like you're a typical Latino with like 17 names.
That's racist.
But true.
I mean, yes.
And with us on the phone is our own Black Mamba herself.
The legal alien.
The
Alien.
Welcome home, Tash.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, well, welcome to Earth. That's one of my favorite lines from Will Smith.
It's like
He
his
punches the alien.
it's like his best
in
line.
their Independence Day. Yeah, it's his best one. Welcome to Earth. He just
I don't know.
punches him.
Pop.
I don't know if this is
Yeah.
true. I don't know if this is true or not, but isn't it that Will Smith is in that movie less than 25 minutes or something like that of screen time, of airtime? So he's got like a ridiculously low amount of screen time.
He's
even
got
though,
very little screen time. I will give you that. But it's put together more almost like an ensemble piece because if you go looking at it in that movie, Will Smith, it's his first big movie,
Yeah.
right? Where he's like, a main character, so to speak. But it's also an ensemble piece because you have Jeff Goldblum, who's arguably the star of the film. If you think about it, when you go looking at
It is a Goldblum film.
Yeah.
That's his movie.
yeah,
But
Goldblum
because
is
Will
technically
Smith
the
is-
lead because they follow his story more than anybody's, right? But you follow Will Smith's story. You got Vivica A. Fox in this thing. You got Bill Paxton. not
yeah,
Bill
everyone
Pullman.
gets those two guys confused. Bill Paxton and Bill.
Is it Pullman? Pullman, right? It's
Yeah.
Pullman.
Yeah.
Paxton is from the other Alien franchise that we are going to talk about because we're talking about
Yeah.
aliens today, guys.
Alien.
Yeah,
That was a bad attempt at the X-Files theme.
it was about attempt at the X-Files theme, which is fine.
I don't know.
So Tash,
One of my favorite. Sorry, I'm just thinking about it. One of my favorite alien movies. I didn't even realize that it was an alien movie until right now. Is Coneheads. Do you guys remember Coneheads?
yeah, it's a classic.
That's
it's amazing.
That's with
I'll let Manny do this.
Hold on. Dan Aykroyd,
Mm-hmm.
Dan
the man of the
Aykroyd,
arrow.
Yeah, and who else?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Oh,
Jane
come
Curtin,
on.
and
Yeah,
the great Chris Farley.
yeah.
Really?
Chris Farley plays the daughter's boyfriend.
Huh?
Yeah.
Was he a conehead or?
No. He was a person.
No.
He was a human. But yeah,
Hmm.
Dave Thomas plays the Emperor of the Coneheads or something like that.
Yeah.
Dave Thomas,
Yeah.
the Wendy's guy.
No, not that one. Not that
Oh,
guy.
oh my god.
He's always got to equate it back to food.
I know. The Wendy's dude? Combo number 5?
No,
What?
the comedian.
Dave Thomas.
He's like a Canadian comedian.
You don't know who
You're
Dave
Canadian.
Thomas-
and
I
you
honest
should
to
know
God,
this.
I don't know who this is.
You spend
He's
enough
not
time
really
in this
Canadian.
country.
He's the illegal alien.
That's true. He is the illegal alien.
Mystery solved.
He's like Mikey in the opening of Men in Black.
I'm more
Yeah.
like. Do you ever watch Mac?
Doesn't speak Spanish. Doesn't speak English.
Yeah. Vincent, isn't that Vincent D'Onofrio in that movie?
He is the main villain in that. Yeah.
Yeah,
in Men in Black 1.
in the very first Men in Black,
Yeah.
and he's like moving really funny, and his face is gross.
You know
and,
what?
like,
It just goes to show
Oh
how
my God, it is
how
me.
good of an actor Vincent D'Onofrio is.
I move funny because of my gimp.
He
I
does a great Manuel impression.
I love that he's doing a me impression. Fuck you, Joe.
that's so funny. It's too much.
Oh man, he's
Anyway.
creepy.
Well, it's good to be back.
It's
Um,
so happy to have you back.
Well,
Manny-
I mean, poor,
Manny is-
our
You have to see Manny's face right now because this realization has really struck him to his core. He's like,
I know.
he's staring off into space. I think a part of him just died. He realized what's
Vincent
happening.
D'Onofrio.
Uh,
The alien in Men in Black.
hey, did you guys know there was a Men in Black cartoon?
Yeah, that came out just
Yeah.
after the success of the original movie.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of that cartoon, but I keep seeing the intro everywhere.
You haven't seen an episode of it?
No, the
It was
intro.
short-lived. It was good, though.
If you watch the intro, though, it has a really bomb beat that goes with it.
Oh, like the
Don't ever
music
say,
for it?
Don't ever say bomb beat. Okay?
Why?
It's just not. You shouldn't be saying that.
That's is that appropriation? I don't know.
Tash, is that cultural appropriation? Me saying bomb beat?
I just don't want you to say those words bomb beat because it just sounds bad.
I think I shook Tash to her core.
You were shaken. You
No,
were shook
you
into the
didn't.
core. Tash might be
Don't-
shook
don't
into the
touch
core.
me. What did I tell you about touching me? Anyway,
Wait, aren't you on the phone?
I know.
Yeah, but you're creepy and it works somehow.
You're creepy. Yeah, you're creeping over there.
It's called phantom
Anyway.
hand syndrome.
She can just feel your arm just uncomfortably rubbing her shoulders.
Phantom hand syndrome. That's a good one.
Are you like the awkward massage guy at work? Is that what you are?
Oh my God! I know there's a guy.
Oh, there is a guy that does.
So when I was
it
in the
doesn't happen to
Philippines,
be you,
no,
but there's a
when I
guy
was in
that
the
does that.
Philippines, yes, there was this guy that went around, and he would like all like the girls, like 23 and under. Seriously, like he had a type. He would go up to him and be like, and he was maybe like I'm gonna say mid 40s. He would go up to him and be like, "You're doing a good job. Keep it up." Starts rubbing their shoulders, and then the girls are like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you, boss. I'm happy you see my work. Yeah, doing really good work." And then he would just walk away and just stare back and wink. And I'm like,
Oh, gross.
You're telling that story as if it happened to you.
yeah.
It did, didn't it?
No.
It did. He came up to you and rubbed your shoulders.
No, I
'Cause
wouldn't
he had a type of woman, but he also had a type of man.
I wouldn't let him live it. But you know what though?
It's not that you let it. That's not the thing.
I know it happens.
You're not letting it happen. It's happening.
Yeah,
Whether you want it to or not.
it's awkward.
I feel like you've said that to people on your first dates.
oh my God.
It's happening whether you want it or not.
Yeah, I'm talking about going to dinner.
Don't do the shifty eyes. We know what that means.
So gross. Anyway,
Oh man.
Oh,
he definitely by the end of this episode will prove that Manny is an alien.
we've done this last time we talked about aliens because this is
Yes.
we're going back to the well, let's so to speak, because we tend to do this. We've done it with wrestling. Now we're doing it with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, aliens.
They're
aliens are a big
huge
part of,
in
like,
our pop
culture.
culture. Yeah, exactly. They're huge in our pop culture. Strangely enough that you say culture, but have you guys ever heard of this show Ancient Aliens that was on History
I'm
for a few while?
afraid of that show
Why are you afraid of the show?
because I feel like it's like I'm a believer. Like I do believe that there is, life on other planets.
Mathematically,
Just
it's proven
Yeah.
that there's life on other
Yeah.
planets.
There has to be, yeah.
But whether it's intelligent life or not, that's the question. I mean, realistically, there could be, let's say on Venus, for example, like a living hellhole. Do you know that the surface of, not the surface of Venus, but like the upper stratosphere of Venus, it could actually be hospitable to life. Now, whether it's just some microbe flowing in the air or a water bear, then that's
That's still life.
yes, that's still life.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the
Water
most
bear.
scientific I've ever heard him.
No, he's into space shit. He's
Yeah.
really into space
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
You know what an
yeah.
actual name for a water bear is, right?
No, it escapes me right now.
A tardigrade.
A tardigrade. Okay. Would you call me?
You,
That's
you
your-
could
that's
be
the
a
least of your
tardigrade. You could be like a giant tardigrade. You just don't have enough arms.
Gross.
Those things can
Anyway.
survive anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, it's been proven.
Yeah.
They can survive in some of the most inhospitable climates. So, anyways, about this show, Ancient
But they can't
Aliens.
survive your
So-
verbal attacks.
No, they can't. They're quite sensitive emotionally.
Yeah.
They're
The
emotionally
emotional alien. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I would watch that show.
the emotional alien.
Emotional alien.
Like, how emotional are we talking about? Like, cry at like the sight of a sunset or something like that?
Actually, it's a good setup for a show. It's called The Emotional Alien. Every episode, he has an emotion. So things happen to him, and
He has to
he
learn
has-
about. He's trying to be more human.
Oh, his
I
horny
feel
episode.
like why?
That's the one I went to.
Why are you a hormone monster from
Oh my
Big
god!
Mouth?
It's could you imagine E.T. learning that with his little finger?
You're gross. Don't ever say little finger.
It's actually really
You're the
upsetting.
worst.
E.T. phone 900.
Ew.
Just the
Wait,
episode's
why
just
would-
him dialing a 900 number the
Why
whole
would-
time.
I guess ET would have to pay for prostitutes on this planet,
Only you would think of E.T. having a porn addiction
Or-
something like that.
or trying to get an escort. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get this part. It's so weird. Like,
Would they pay extra for him?
I think he'd have to pay extra. Think about
Let's
that.
not ruin it. Let's not ruin him. That's like childhood, guys. Stop.
It's
Oh.
it's all of our
Okay, fine.
childhood.
I'll
Let's-
bring
let's
it
not
back
do
to
that.
I'll redeem ET for you. Do you know that the ET or his species or whatever exists in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
That's how you're gonna redeem yourself for ET. For saying
Harder.
for saying
What are you wearing?
Gross. You're so gross.
you,
Elliot?
you
Sex.
son of a bitch. No, because he was a child.
Oh, he's adult now. I'm not a creep.
ETXXX. That's gross.
Did you hear the cricket?
H3 the extra testicle alien.
Hold on.
Extra
Tash, did you hear the crickets when he said he wasn't a creep? Because I heard them.
Yeah, I
He's
know,
like, I'm
yeah.
not a creep, and it was just silence.
Oh,
I-
side note to last week's episode where there were an actual cricket noise. That actually was not edited in. Those are actual crickets.
Yeah, there's a cricket in the room somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's designed to riff on me.
It's very low, but
know.
I purposely caught crickets for when Manny says something terrible and you actually hear cricket noises in the room.
Joe's actually been unemployed the last 3 months. He's become a professional cricket trainer, and that's his only skill.
How dare you, sir?
You know, he could have trained them to talk or something like that.
Knock on wood for that joke, just in case, man. What the
I
fuck?
know. Yeah, I know. Like, gross.
Fine, he's been doing it on his spare time.
you.
Joe hasn't slept in months.
I'm fused. Sleep is for the weak, damn it.
Goes
See the
down. He has a
bags
little.
under my eyes.
He has a little whip. Anyways, Ancient Aliens.
Ancient aliens, yeah.
Speaking of little whips, but yeah. So
Oh my god! Now I'm thinking of a squirrel with like a pimped out car.
You
a
would-
little whip.
You are afraid of squirrels, so
I am
don't think
afraid of
about squirrels. They'll make you scared.
Yeah.
You heard
Anyway.
about the chipmunk that we had in the house, right?
The chipmunk.
Yeah. I had a chipmunk in this house a while back.
He must have had the
Why?
Chipmunk King though.
I don't know. He just walked in. So the best part about this, I may have said this in one of the episodes, anyways, to get off topic again, but Manny fucking comes to record an episode after we caught him and released him back out into the wild somewhere, like a few blocks away or whatever. So at my front door, there's two chipmunks hanging out, just like staring.
Oh, he totally had Chip and Dale. They were late on that rescue mission.
They were
So
just
you mean to tell me Well, maybe that's like their brother, and you went and you like took him somewhere.
That's what I'm telling you. I tell you, he kidnapped the Chipmunk King.
Yeah.
Chipmunk
Oh
King
my
came in.
God.
Hey,
Chipmunk King
don't-
came in here to create a sovereignty agreement, and that's how you treated him.
Hey, man, I didn't send him away. Daryl's the one who caught him.
Yeah.
So Daryl had to change cars. They tagged his car.
They cut his brakes.
So bad. Oh my god.
They cut my roommate's brakes. The chipmunks.
He just, what's wrong with my Ford, guys?
Don't mess with the chipmunk.
Yeah,
Don't mess
it's
with the
pretty
chipmunk
much Simon-
mafia.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much Simon and Theodore that
The
you're messing
chipmunk-
with. The smart
we-
one and then the fat one. So you like the fat one chewed up your brakes or Daryl's brakes, and then
guys, we got rid of the Don Corleone of freaking chipmunks.
oh my god.
Godfather.
Oh my god, you were sick.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
I'm gonna
Back to ancient
aliens. Okay, yeah. So this show goes through, pretty much every single human achievement and claims that, hey, if it wasn't for aliens, we probably would have never achieved these things.
I agree with that.
So you agree
Yeah,
with the
that makes
fact you believe
I want to believe.
you want to believe that this show, that every single human achievement has not been achieved by our own, prowess, so to speak.
In a way.
Yeah.
See, I think that we were given the technology, and then we found ways to use that technology. It's like giving a monkey Photoshop, right? Eventually, he's going to create a masterpiece. Now,
1,000 monkeys and 1,000 typewriters. One will definitely write the greatest American novel.
and aliens gave them those typewriters.
Aliens gave those typewriters. Okay.
So you want to believe that everything that we've achieved as a species and a civilization can be equated to some extraterrestrial, I guess, handout? Now, my question is, why would they even bother? What are they getting at here?
I don't know, Christopher Walken. Why would they bother? What the hell happened to you there? You heard that, right, Tosh?
yeah.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's a case can be made that he's an alien. He's buggy-eyed. He talks weird. He talks like he only read about how humans talk in a book, right?
cadence is wild.
Yeah.
No,
No, seriously. That's how he
It's
talks.
true.
Okay.
But I would assume that the aliens would give us up to date technology, or give like one human being do like a transferable type of I don't know, like some telepathy with a human to give them like all these ideas in order to build things.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean,
What
I
does this
get
show
that.
say? What does this? Give me an example of something this show claims.
That okay, for example, let's go with the pyramids and how they're essentially mathematically perfect.
I'm mathematically perfect.
Okay, let's be real and
Let's
honest here.
be-
Okay. Stop the shit, Manny. Anyway,
So the pyramids, they're mathematically perfect in
Like,
what way?
In design and build and everything, right? Like how did they manage to and not only that, but the fact how like we can't comprehend how, something like Stonehenge, for example, was built. Or how these massive like rock structures, because if you go looking at the pyramids, the pieces of stone, I think it's limestone. I can't remember what's made of, but anyways, but they're massive, going
Yeah.
all the way up. How are these being lifted? Again, that's a mystery in itself. Now,
without like helicopter help or anything like
exactly without that kind of technology. Now, my whole thing is that as cool as this idea is. Manny's trying to eat a bagel and he's like hovering trying to hide away from the fucking microphone, and he looks like he hasn't eaten in 6 months because he's all like huddled. He's like, "Arr, arr, arr."
So weird. I'm telling you, he's an alien. We proved it already.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been a few minutes yet. Like, seriously.
It's a big reveal.
It's a
Yeah,
big reveal.
It's a big
Yeah.
fucking reveal.
I'm a hentai alien. Anyways,
Gross.
You're gross,
I
man.
forgot. That's right. You guys know that word.
That's disgusting, Manuel.
Anyways,
We have children that listen. No, we don't.
we
But
if you do, you're a bad parent.
yeah, if you let your kids listen to our show, thank you. First off, but
Yeah.
you need to reassess some things.
We should definitely put the show in a time capsule.
I thought this
That
is
they-
a time capsule.
Yeah.
So when the aliens come, you're saying so when the aliens come, they know to take me away because of the fact that
Yeah.
I'm questioning everything that they've supposedly achieved. But yeah, I mean, so if you go looking at this show, they say think of any human achievement that's on a grand scale. Anything.
Yeah.
Cell phones.
Yeah, this show says, aliens gave us the technology to do it.
When? So that's the question. When
and,
would
and they said literally in the fucking, 1960s or something like that.
So you're telling me
Every single technological advancement, according to this program, is thanks to alien knowledge.
okay, so what you're telling me is
Yeah.
some aliens actually was like, "Oh, my 2-year contract is up with, Sprint or whatever.
Yep.
What am I going to do with my old phone?" Well, you can, trade it in for $100, or you can give it to this developing species so they can further their advancement.
Pretty much.
Really?
Don't you? Doesn't do that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you. Yeah.
That's sorry.
We gave it to the Chipmunk King. That's how they coordinated on your
How he
roommates.
knows where I live.
Yeah. Wow. It's like a heist that they were doing. Anyway. But, okay, this
We
is
really should write a
interesting
children's
because
book on this.
The Chipmunk King.
Yeah.
The chipmunk
You gotta
king,
come up with a happy ending. What does does the brakes get cut and the human die? Like where's the happy ending here?
I mean, depends whose point of view it is.
It's gonna be Chipmunk point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, I'll ask this to you guys. What do you think? Like, we're talking about like technology and all that stuff, but what do you think an alien actually looks like?
Okay. So it all depends on, are they part of the Milky Way galaxy, or are they actually part of, like the Andromeda galaxy? Are they part of, any other galaxy outside our own system? Now, the reason I bring that up is because it all depends on whether or not they developed on a super Earth type situation. Now, here's what I mean by that. Let's say they developed
Sounds so
by
scientific.
No, seriously. Let's say they developed now Vega, for example. You see Vega every night. Do you know what Vega is?
It's for those who don't.
Okay, Vega's
The guy
basically
from Street Fighter.
That's exactly what I'm picturing right now. I'm not.
you look up in the sky and it's just Vega with his claw.
and the mask, right?
Oh yeah. Then the Black Eyed Peas guys comes down.
Yeah,
Why the
I know.
black- okay.
That guy
The,
does
the-
look like
the
him.
guy. No, the guy played Vega in that shitty Chun Li movie.
Oh,
I think.
did he really?
Yeah.
I did not watch that movie. So
I think
that's
friend
why.
of the show Dave just woke up and punched a wall. But anyways, right?
That's for another
Maybe.
podcast for another
Yeah.
day. Anyway,
saw
continue
him on
on Neil
Friday
deGrasse
night.
Tyson.
But yeah. But yeah, no. As I was saying, so let's say it developed around Vega. Now Vega is a blue. It burns blue, the sun. Okay.
All right.
Now the planets are now. It all depends on the luminosity of it and whether or not planets developed in the habitable zone for them. If the planets developed much bigger, they would have, let's say they developed in a place where it's 2.1 the power of Earth's gravity. Okay, in a
Right.
much bigger Earth, in a much bigger Earth type scenario. Now, assuming that it has a living biosphere and it can develop life, there is a good chance that let's just say they've developed in the exact same way, the humanoids developed, they would be much, much larger simply because their bodies would have needed to adapt it to that amount of gravity. So or they might even have extra limbs, right? Like some animals would have extra limbs. For example, you might see like let's say a cheetah, have like an extra hind legs or front legs. Now, of course, it would
Okay.
be more proportionate. And the reason for it is because, to compensate for that extra amount of gravity, to be able so that it can walk better.
Well, it's a question of evolution, right? It depends. So we look like the way we do, or other creatures on this planet look like the way they do, is because of our evolution and our environment on this planet. So, needless to say, on another world, the environment could be drastically different.
Exactly.
And
They can not have oxygen on this other planet.
Well, yeah, that-
and it would look completely different.
exactly. So it all depends.
That's the argument on Titan.
But like I said, it all depends on their biochemistry and their actual genetic makeup in general that allows them to do or survive wherever they survive. We only know what we know of our planet. So every single hypothesis that we've come up with, considering we haven't found anything yet, right, is all based off of
What we
funny
know.
enough, what we know about science, and funny enough, science fiction.
Yeah. So
Oh,
the
no.
reason that, okay, do you know why we have 2 arms, 2 legs, 4 limbs, essentially? Because when some fish came out, that's the fish at the time or whatever. The fish that came out and actually did it, they actually had 4, 2 front, 2 back. That's how it would develop that way. If they would have had anything, if they would have had another, extra limbs or so, then that would have it would have evolved into some other way. I mean, some fish jumped out of water. Now I got to pay taxes.
Why do primates still have? Why do some primates have tails, some don't?
Again, it is all on evolution, right? I mean,
Exactly.
They have tails.
You're getting into another wild conversation in general.
And how did the Ancient Aliens show explain that?
Oh
did
no!
Did they jumpstart our evolution?
Of course they did. According to Ancient Aliens, that's what they did. That's why we're the smartest creature on the fucking planet.
So what? They just spinned the board and said, "Those guys."
According to this fucking show, yeah.
Okay, I think they're pulling at strings there.
Dude, this show is nothing but pulling at strings. I mean, fuck, there's one guy on the show, Giorgio.
Okay, I already don't.
Kalakos.
Now I don't take him seriously because his name is Giorgio.
He seems to be of Greek descent.
Oh, never mind then. I thought it was just some guy who goes by the name George and changed it to something else.
He could, but this guy.
It's like you can't take someone named Robert. If someone's named Robert and he goes by his name Robbie, I immediately don't take him seriously.
So this guy Giorgio Tuskalakos, I can't pronounce his last name, is the director of Eric Von Daniken Center at the Eric Von Daniken Center for Ancient Alien Astronaut Research. So this guy is really big into this ancient alien stuff.
In the U.S.?
Yeah, this guy's in the U.S. And he's done numerous documentaries about it and all that, but he does not have any qualifications in this field. He has a bachelor degree in sports information and communications.
So
Aliens
how does he
aliens
know?
taught us how to hit home runs.
Like this guy has no scientific background whatsoever.
Let me guess.
So that
So he
this
said,
guy's full
"Oh,
of
sorry,
shit
Tash.
then.
Oh, he totally
This is
said-
one of and this is like one of their main guys they go to. Do you know who this guy is? Have you guys ever seen the moon, the meme with the dude with the crazy funky ass hair?
Yeah.
And it says aliens? It's that guy.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that-
god, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
Right?
exactly
I
what
Yeah,
I'm
that guy.
talking about.
That guy seems legit. Everything about him seems legit. Let me guess.
Manny's saying that because he agrees with everything.
So he claimed. Okay, so let me throw out a ancient aliens theory here. Okay, Babe Ruth, he was given the power. Sorry, he was taught by aliens, and his muscles were, scientifically enhanced, so he could be the perfect home run machine. Now, the reason he would wear a cabbage on his head is because he would overheat. So that was how they, he had to maintain it.
maybe, I don't know, but that could be it. And
And also-
then you get all these others scientific folks that would try to cooperate that. Another guy on fucking this Eric Von Daniken guy I think was he's an ex-con. So this Eric Von Daniken or whatever is a guy from Switzerland, and he obviously works with this Giorgio dude. So two of their biggest fucking experts on their show, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is an ex-con and the other one's just a complete fraud.
I'll trust the ex-con more than the fraud.
Probably.
Yeah.
He was convicted for fraud and embezzlement.
Okay,
So-
fine. Okay, yes, okay, fine. I kind of go like if
So he's
you know,
just a bad stealer.
yeah.
That's
just
all I
about
get
it.
from
Yeah,
that.
he's a
Yeah.
bad stealer, but they do
you could-
have some other reputable people on the show. But it's funny enough, everything is speculative on this in this show, obviously, because there isn't enough evidence to prove or disprove it. So really, it's kind of like, this could be it, and if these aliens from this time came,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But it's like, okay, yeah, sure they came, but why the fuck haven't they come back?
Yeah. When they,
Do you know what I
they
mean?
listen to the show.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They gave us all this
We've
shit.
got enough. We've got enough, guys. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
But according to these dudes, I recently watched this show on Netflix. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I like it because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like this show. One of the episodes goes on how even aliens gave the scientists in the Second World War to develop the fucking atom bomb and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Gave us nuclear capability. But it's like, okay, so in other words, if it wasn't for, some extraterrestrial being, our scientists would have never figured out anything.
Okay.
But it's kind of funny, like if you want to put this full circle, which I'm thinking about. So this show is saying, oh, the cell phones, like the technology, making these nuclear things, like they're pretty much out to friggin' get us because everything is killing us.
Everything we've
right
made
now.
destroys us.
It's destroying us. It's like,
I
This is
actually-
how
you say
they're
one of the
invading.
aliens, one of the
This
aliens
is how
made
they're
social
gonna
media.
invade.
Fuck that guy, man.
No. So,
So,
Um,
okay,
H-
if
H-
they're invading, right?
mhm.
Let's say this:
Mm-hmm.
aliens are invading. What type of Because you want to talk about something, Manny, right? In terms of aliens and all this shit. Because you've been going on. Because this is your baby. This episode, really.
Now,
Now stop
I need-
chewing and talk.
I need to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
See,
It's okay. To
aliens
talk about
actually. So, the reason they don't do many nuclear tests anymore, rather not as much anymore, is because
they're dangerous to humanity.
not only yes, that, but did you know that a lot of people now it's in a recent documentary that's come out. It's actually on Netflix as well. Just search aliens, not ancient aliens, but another one. It actually talks about how a lot of people, who were formerly in the military, former pilots, both commercial and Navy, they've all come out and said, yes, we have seen flying saucers, we have seen spaceships. In fact, whenever there were nuclear tests, it was not uncommon to see spaceships hovering over them to make sure that they think is to make sure that the tests go off as they should. That at the same time that there was situations where it was like the systems were remotely taken over and they needed to shut everything down. Like I'm talking pull the plug from the wall shut down because of what was happening.
If you're doing a nuclear test and you need to pull something a plug out of a wall to make sure that it stops, you shouldn't be doing the nuclear test.
I think that was an analogy, but I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, Tash.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time though, I guess at the same aliens, it would be a lot easier to spot aliens now, with high def cams, all that stuff. Because every time in the past there was, they would take a picture of an alien and it always would look like someone was throwing a spoon up in the air, right? No, it would look like that. Now, if if someone
Spoon.
remember back in the 90s, there was that whole late 80s, 90s, there was that whole aliens abducted me and stuff like that. Well, what
Okay.
proof do you have? My ass hurts, right? Because
They just visited your house.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Don't open the door and
No.
not expect me to walk through it. Fuck
I know,
you.
yeah.
anyways, so they Nowadays, if that happened, they'd probably accidentally, abduct some social media jackass who'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm here on Rigel 7. I got some alien, and now I'm just gonna go around this alien mothership. Shh, 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 watch. And he tries to prank some alien. Says the equivalent of like, go fuck your mama, right? To the alien, and then he's like, "Bro, it's a prank. It's a prank."
I have to ask.
He'll get an extra probing though.
No, I just have to ask. How does your mind go to these worlds like this?
Yeah,
This is
like
insanity.
it's just
I don't know.
like there's off topic, and then there's just just wild.
It's but
completely.
this is insane because it's wild and on topic. So
Yeah.
it's frightening.
I think I'm actually a little disappointed, to be honest, because I would have thought, at least in this century, because we're almost done the century, right?
Yeah,
Or the
What
Yeah,
are you talking
decade.
about?
Sorry.
The
the
decade.
decade.
The century. We still
Decade
got like
was-
90 years to go, lady.
Yeah,
I
I was,
really-
I was like, let me stop there.
I really
Like,
hope.
the
Sorry,
century, no,
80
the
year,
decade.
80 years to go. But yeah.
Yeah, but I would have thought in this decade that we would have seen
Something.
something. Because
We have seen things.
Predictions.
See,
Yeah.
okay, I think she means more with concrete evidence.
There is concrete evidence. It's just
Maybe
people.
If there's concrete evidence, it would be fully released, and
But there has been fully released things. People there's a big media
Okay.
spin on it
All
because
right.
people don't want to believe it.
okay, there, President Trump.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god,
seriously,
I just
though,
said fake news, didn't I?
You did.
I went a roundabout way of saying
You
fake news.
did
Wow.
say fake news.
Wow.
Now,
And you said Space Force.
Oh. Oh god. Am I the Trump?
Yeah,
you've always been the
you
Trump
are
on this show.
You've
I'm the
always
Trump.
been the Trump of the show.
You are
Anyway,
the Trump.
I'm the Trump.
So, anyways, Manny, what I'm trying to say to you is, there's no way a governments would hide this. I mean, why would you?
Mass panic.
From what?
From knowing that we're not alone. From being able to fucking basically we would implode as a society. Everything would stop.
That is a huge like first off, it just shows how fragile of a society we are in general, that something like the knowledge that we're not alone, or narcissistic actually is the better word.
Okay.
we are not alone.
So
We can't be.
now, before I actually do go further, I did want to talk about something else. Have any of you
Did you now?
have any of you guys ever heard of the Kardashev scale? Now, I explained it briefly on the chat.
What, the Kardashian scale?
The Kardashian scale. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Tash, what's the Kardashian
Like,
scale?
depending on what Kardashian you were like extremely slutty or like even more slutty than the other one.
Okay, what about
Yeah,
Chloe?
that's the Kardashian scale.
Chloe's the best one. I don't care.
Yeah.
So where would Manny fit on the Kardashian scale?
He's like I would say definitely like a Kylie. He'd be like a Kylie.
Thank
Yeah.
you, actually. Thank you.
Not in
I
looks. Relax there,
Oh.
bud.
I know, yeah.
And money wise, okay.
No,
I'm just
not
talking
even
about
that.
sluttiness.
Just sluttiness. You're like a Kylie Jenner slut.
Mm. So here. So now, since we're talking, oh my god. So good. Since we are talking about, the different types of we brought up the different types of aliens. What would they look like? How would they be? Then we brought up, obviously, they must have given us some highly advanced technology. Now, this kind of
I don't believe they did. I think I cannot think that, because it's just so anti-human to think that.
and you're most
that we
likely
can't- that
you're
we
most likely
cannot-
right.
That we cannot, achieve these things ourselves. I'm not saying there's no aliens out there, but I think we're advanced enough to have been able to figure this shit out on our own.
And that's exactly where the Kardashev scale comes in. Okay. Little background on the Kardashev scale. It's actually created by an old Soviet astronomer by the name of Nikolai Kardashev, and this was done in 1964. There's three main types of levels in that scale. There's type 1, type 2, type 3. I'm not talking about diabetes. I'm talking about
I don't think there's a type 3 diabetes, but continue.
yeah, the grave. Fuck. Right? But
Can we not joke about
Okay,
diabetes?
fine,
I'd really
okay.
appreciate that.
Okay.
Thanks.
so here's what
Son of a bitch.
So here's what I know. I caught myself mid-sentence at the end there. Sorry, Joe. I do apologize.
Continue.
I
Fuck,
apologize,
no.
buddy.
Go back to the Kardashian scale. Go.
Stop calling it that. Anyways, okay. So it measures a society's level of being able to harness and store power, right, for their world's needs. So, for example, a Type 1 civilization can use and store all the energy of its available planet. Now, currently, we are at like a 0.774
On the scale
on
of a
that
type
scale.
1 planet out of 10?
No. It's not a 10. It's there's 3 main ones, but people have added more to it.
Okay, so how does the scale essentially work? So like
it
from level 1 to be in level 1, you go from 0 all the way to like what specific number? Just to give somebody
yeah, so it goes from 0
a visual
all the
thought
way
of-
to 100, and then once
Okay.
you hit 100, you're Type 1. And then it's now with that situation, you go from 101 to 200. At 200, you're Type 2.
Okay, so it's in increments of 100.
Exactly.
Wow,
Look at
it.
we actually suck.
Yeah, so we're at about 75% there.
No,
There-
70?
Yeah.
So then it's out of 10.
Yeah. That's why I said point. I think you didn't hear me say point.
Oh, you said 0.7.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what's happening.
So then then we're only at 7% if it's out of 100.
Yeah, no, we're at 70%. Okay?
No, that's not how percentages work.
Okay. Let me start.
Oh.
If it's
God.
out of 100, Manuel, okay, if we're only at 0.7,
And then it's 7%.
yes.
Okay, we are at 70. Okay, we are at 7 out of 10%. 7 out of 10.
Carry,
There we go.
Carry
So we're
the
at
one.
70%.
Do you
Yes.
need an abacus?
Okay.
Fucking abacus? Anyway,
You can't seem to figure
the
out a
easiest way to
simple.
count.
You can't seem to figure out.
getting
a
excited. I
simple
want to talk
7
about
out of
this.
10.
I'm excited. Okay, so
Fuck me. I can't believe I just spent like 8 minutes trying to explain
no,
this
I
to him.
you didn't hear me say point. So here's the
No, I did. Is why I'm telling you. If it's out of
He's an
100,
alien.
it's only 7%.
Don't
okay.
worry. This is the second thing that we've proven that Manny is an alien. Okay?
Okay.
No,
Can't do
because
the
the
basics
alien
of
would get the
basics of
math
math.
right.
It would actually
know.
take a lot of information.
The alien would get the math right.
Okay.
But, the alien doesn't understand our human customs, like learning, like learning and being like, just real and nice.
Okay, back to your scale.
Okay.
So we're at 70%.
yes.
So we're at a 70 out of 100.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Not a 0.7.
yes, it's our ability to be able to store and use the energy within our planet. So we
Okay.
haven't fully mastered obviously solar. We obviously haven't fully mastered wind energy, right? Once we actually master those and other types of energy that are available to us in our planet, then we actually can say that we've become a Type 1 civilization. Now, this is where things get
But we
extraterrestrial.
can never say that because
Like, in what sense?
there's certain things that we cannot like we can't live without oxygen, right? So
No, but I think
how are
what,
we ever going to evolve to be at 100% to get to the next level? I don't think we ever will.
no,
Because
I think
we're not absorbing things that are on our planet, is what you're saying.
I think what he's trying to. I think the way the scale works from Manny's explanation, or what kind of explanation he's given, is it's more of based off how we use the resources available to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, mainly now we're much more of a fossil fuel society, right? And we've managed to harness some wind power for our purposes, like electrical and all that shit, as well as, hydro, which is water and all that.
Yeah.
And, and in that sense, I mean,
Yeah. We will once we actually are able to contain the power of a nuclear blast and be able to use that for our energy purposes safely, then that would jump us up in the scale.
Well, where does Wakanda fit in all of this?
I would think.
I was just thinking the same thing.
They
Oh
would-
my
they-
god, Joey, you are so black.
I know.
I think that's the highest compliment you can get right now, Joe.
I know,
She's also not the first black person to say that to me. Shout out to Dave.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I was
The white
completely
red-haired boy.
thinking about it. I, was
I know,
like,
right?
Oh my god, like, why are we not, going to Wakanda?
Why?
Because
Where
I
does
don't care
where
what
does
anybody
Wakanda
says,
fit in
it's a
this?
real
So-
place.
Wakanda probably. They wouldn't move the scale too much because.
Are you fucking
No.
kidding me?
I'll tell you why. Because they are using a resource that's available to them, right? For energy. Now they've actually made technological advancements with that source, and they've used it for a lot of power. But that's still one more thing.
See, if a society like Wakanda actually existed, then I would believe ancient aliens.
Okay,
Think about it.
I know. I agree with you.
Right?
I totally agree with you.
Like, as much as we love to dream and believe that Wakanda is a real place, I'm sorry, Tash, but unfortunately, sadly and unfortunately, it is not. But if it was, that is undeniable proof that aliens have helped us out, because there's no way we could have harnessed that from a metal.
No,
There's no way.
Exactly. Which actually brings me to the Type 2 civilization.
Okay, what exactly is a Type 2 civilization in the Kardashev?
It's a civilization
And not the
capable
Kardashians.
of harnessing the energy radiated by its own star. So, this one,
So
we will be able to... So, here, let me...
kind of on that path, though, considering we know how to harness solar power.
Right,
We know how to do that.
right.
I mean, so really, we're maybe closer to being a fully Type 1 civilization than you claim.
Well, then what's not me claiming that. It's a bunch of other... Yeah. No, and it's also being able to travel outside your home star, your home planet. Being able to...
Sorry, planet or solar system? There's a very big difference.
No, planet. Being
'Cause
able to...
we've left our planet.
No. Being able to colonize and live within
All right.
our solar system.
Colonize is a much
No,
different
I know.
thing.
I agree. But yeah, no, it's being able to colonize and live within our own solar
and
system.
you-
like Mars, Venus.
Yeah, you have this hard on for colonizing Mars. And like you and I have had this conversation in the past. I think it may have been on the show where it's like colonizing Mars, and I don't know if Tash was on that episode or not, but when we talked about the Chandrayaan 2 being blasted off to the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
I
remember
say,
that.
I say we need to have more lunar missions before we even start considering going to Mars.
I agree with you. On
We
that.
need to perfect that first.
Wow.
I mean, the fact that we haven't sent a man to the moon since the 70s.
Can you believe that?
Yeah,
It's
like
insane.
why haven't we done? I
mean-
I was trying to do the REM song.
the weird thing is the weird thing is like sometimes you just kind of sit and like when you're in your thoughts you sit and think about things. And one of the things recently I was thinking about was actually like how come we haven't been back, like nobody's been on the moon since
Do you want the...
apparently we haven't been on the moon since the 70s, but even like that has been like debunked by like a lot of people saying that
I wouldn't
it
say
was fake,
debunked,
like
but this goes back to the conspiracy theory people that Manny likes to hang out with
yeah.
or talk to. You're getting all shifty eyed because you know it's true, but it like I can't deny that, because again it just goes to denying our own achievements
I think-
as a species, right?
I think we landed on the moon.
We did,
Don't get me
100%.
wrong.
We've
I
been
think
there-
that we
we've been
100%
there.
were on the moon.
we sent numerous
But it's
missions.
really weird that we haven't been back.
You know that...
Yeah, we sent a handful of missions from 1969 to 1972, 73, and we haven't been back since.
You know that some dude
Yeah.
went up to Buzz Aldrin and started saying, "You're a cheat. You're a liar. You've lied to the people on Earth." And Buzz Aldrin, in his like old man stage, fucking just knocked him in the mouth.
Deservedly
Yeah,
so.
we should.
Yeah, that's
Buzz
what everyone
Aldrin-
says.
Buzz Aldrin's a fucking hero.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
what everyone.
like-
That's what everyone says. You know, like,
To have gone to that place. Like, I actually had this conversation with
the reason that some people say that we haven't been back to the moon, and this kind of goes into conspiracy theory, is because on the dark side of the moon there is apparently that's where supposedly that's where aliens actually have their, I guess, their site, their landing site. They have
Funny enough that you say something silly like this, but last I heard of the Chandrayaan, when they tried to land on the dark side of the moon, they lost it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Again, it goes back to conspiracy theorists and stuff.
Because okay, our moon is tidally locked, which means that we only always see one face of the moon. Right? Being able to see the dark side of the moon without specialized equipment is almost impossible. Being able to see the other side of the moon. So all our lives, if we just looked at pictures, we would only be seeing the front. That's what tidally locked. Like, for example, Mercury. Mercury is tidally locked to our sun, which means that Mercury doesn't spin. It doesn't rotate.
Which could be also another good reason as to why we, in this solar system anyways, have been lucky enough to have life.
Yes, because Earth is a perfect... Okay, so let me just quickly touch one thing on the Kardashev scale, on the
Please
Type
don't
2
touch
society. So one of the achievements, the hypothetical achievements, it's a Dyson sphere, okay? The Dyson sphere is
I bought one the other day. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Right. Yeah, you bought her from some ancient alien. They
No,
upgraded.
man, those vacuums are amazing.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Make it, Manny, wrap this up quick because I know Tash had some stuff she wanted to mention to us.
No, but this is what I want to get to as well. So in the Dyson sphere, it's a hypothetical megastructure that what it will actually do is it's giant. Think of it this way: giant solar panels around our sun, built around our sun, to be able to harness that amount of energy for our extraterrestrial travel needs. Kind of brings us to the movie, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. Ad
Contact?
Astra. Well,
I haven't seen Ad Astra yet.
Contact is a lot about SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Very short, very quickly put, it's a society. It's a group of people that scan the space for trying to intercept radio signals. One of the biggest ones is that if it repeats, so it'd be like beep 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 like that. If it repeats over a long period of time, perfect. I'm not gonna get into neutron stars though. Now, seriously. What ends up happening? Hold on. What ends up happening though is that with the movie Ad Astra,
he's really excited
right
now, and it's
no. With Ad Astra though, it actually puts us in a Type 1 nearing Type 2 civilization, that type of environment, because it has us fully colonize the moon. Like there's even like a Denny's up in the moon or something like that. I'm not gonna ruin the movie, but it has
really a Denny's.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, it kind of has that.
There's too much racism going on with that history. Maybe a better restaurant.
Arby's.
I don't know about an Arby's, but okay.
No.
Okay,
At least it's not a Chick-fil-A, although their chicken is delicious. But
then, but it also has that they have a colony, like humans have a colony on Mars.
but I mean, like,
and then it actually has us traveling to the furthest reaches of our solar system around Uranus.
I don't know about going out into space.
Yeah,
Going out too far, you run into too many dangerous things.
I know, but that's
Wouldn't
where
you agree, Tash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
I mean, there's a lot of movies about it. Right?
I don't know what to believe, to be honest with you.
No.
we're trying to lead you in, Tash.
Yeah, like we're trying to lead me in. I don't need a lead in. I lead in myself.
It's
Anyway.
our girl. We've missed you so much.
Speaking about strong females,
You
In
are strong.
space.
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
There was
in
no setup
space.
for strong females, but you took it anyways.
Yeah, I took it anyways. So I had asked you guys about what you thought an alien looked like.
Yeah.
And then Manny gave this long, drawn-out answer. But my honest to God truth, I actually think you guys know the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
The one with
Love it.
Sigourney Weaver who plays
Yeah.
Ripley, strong woman, strong female lead. Love that movie, or love that series, anyways. But I think the Alien actually looks like that.
I'm gonna let you in on something, and I don't know if you may or not know this, but that design is actually based off of an Earth creature.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it off of like a shark?
Goblin shark.
No, it's
About-
like
yeah.
Forma or whatever. It's an underwater creature, and
It's a goblin.
Are you pulling up a picture of me?
no.
Trust me, you're not one of you're not you're like a cone head,
Now, just so the audience know, we're talking about a xenomorph.
a xenomorph. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's like it was they had made the xenomorph off of like with the because a goblin. If anybody's ever seen a goblin shark, or look up a video, maybe we'll post it on social media. The goblin shark has like the way it opens its mouth, it has like two mouths. And if you remember in the Aliens, it kind of has two mouths as well, which is gross. And then they just built it off of that. So that's as far as I know. I don't I don't know if you can. I mean, if what I'm saying is a rumor or whatever, but that's what I've heard about this Alien franchise and how they created the Alien. But I think for me, the one thing that I find true with anything is that their blood is not like ours. For 100% for sure, their blood is not like ours, but
Not
I
at
kind
all.
of believe the acid being the blood, if that makes any sense. Like, I believe that. I believe that if you cut an alien, or if we had an encounter with an alien and we cut them open or whatever.
That's how we start a space war. Okay?
Yeah,
If our
exactly.
first encounter with an alien is we cut him up, I come in peace. I'm gonna stab you, motherfucker. Come here.
Yeah.
He landed in the wrong neighborhood.
So the creature is called Pheroma, Phronima.
Pheroma.
Yeah, and it is the inspiration of the alien creature.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show here some images of it to Manny, and I will send you the link as well, Tash, if you get the opportunity to
And we'll
look at
post
them.
it up. We'll post it up for everybody to see.
Look at them. This is just a Google search of the creatures.
Oh yeah,
It's-
I see it.
It's a total yeah.
I see the inspiration. Oh no! That is the That looks like more for the inspiration of when the thing before it becomes the xenomorph. Like, you know, when it starts like it starts
are you
crawling
talking
around.
about like Prometheus type?
Yeah,
stuff?
like the little okay, you know how when it
I don't know, dude. Like,
it looks like the little one.
Or are you talking about the face, the one that grabs onto your face?
The one that grabs onto your face. The face hugger.
Yeah, the face hugger.
Yeah.
it's all the same creature, though.
Yeah,
It is, but
all
it's
the same
but it
creature.
but it goes through like almost like a cocoon phase
I don't know.
inside
dude.
a person.
Look at that photo.
Let me show him a picture
Yeah.
of me.
We gotta post these pictures up, or
Yeah, this is actually a good. This will be a really good poll to put up. Is this a face hugger or a xenomorph?
Yeah.
And don't put up a picture of me.
We're definitely
Yeah,
putting up a picture
yeah.
of you.
is this Manny or not? Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, the Alien franchise for me, it's been a joy to watch. At certain points, it's not. Like, it started off with the first Alien,
That was amazing.
Moving, which was beyond its time even back then, directed by Ridley Scott. It was
All right, sorry to interrupt you, Tash. I sent you like the Google search I did for it. So when you get the chance, take a look at them
okay.
of the images and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, continue.
And then we'll post that up so everybody can see. So, and then there is the second movie, with it's called Aliens.
Yeah,
With an
because the
F at
first
the
one,
end.
and that's always confused me as a kid. Anyways, the first one was just Alien.
Alien, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was supposed to be called Space Beast.
Really?
The movie was
That
supposed
totally
to be
sounds like a
called
porn movie.
It kind of does. I think that's why they changed the name. But
Yeah, and so yeah, it was supposed to be called Space Beast.
We're low on oxygen, Captain. I know.
Oh,
that
sorry,
is-
excuse me, Star Beast. It was supposed to be called Star Beast.
even worse.
That still
Even
definitely
worse.
sounds like a porn
yeah,
movie.
and then they had to like go over, and they were like, you know what? We're just gonna call this thing Alien. It
You know what
just
the
stuck.
pitch was for that, right?
Yeah,
In the pitch room, when they pitched the movie, like they went to the studio, they pitched the movie, and they said,
Well, you get paid for every time you say the word pitch? What's going on here?
"Yes, I do actually." How do you think I make my
Pitch.
money?
Anyway,
But so when they went in and they said, "So what's the movie about?" All they literally said, all they told the studio execs was Jaws in space.
Jaws in space. Yeah,
That was the pitch for that movie.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds like better than the pitch for Transformers, the movie.
At that point, the Transformer movie was, Michael Bay's behind it. He's made us a bunch of money. Let
No,
him do it.
I'm talking about the 1980s one.
Again, Transformers was a big franchise.
I know, but go into a room. We got Leonard Nimoy, Orson Welles, transforming robots in space.
Yeah, nobody cares at this point. Manny. Let's go back.
Anyway,
Let's go back to what
So
we were
Alien,
actually talking
Alien
about.
came out in 1979. Aliens came out in 1987, and
Whoa,
I
are
want
you
to
sure?
Stop right. Yeah, 1987.
That's a long ass gap.
Yeah, there was like a huge gap in between those two movies. A lot of it had to do with the fact of the director, because Ridley Scott. There was a lot of talk with Ridley Scott because he did the first Alien movie. He wanted the script to be like correct for the second one, and obviously a lot of people like Sigourney Weaver. They wanted to get big names. So
Yeah, Aliens didn't come out till 1986.
1986. Okay.
Yeah.
So then they got James Cameron to direct the movie, and James Cameron had just either come off of Terminator or was about to begin Terminator, if I'm not mistaken. Around that time? You'll have to double check.
I think
You'll have to double check
I'm,
that.
I'm checking it right now. Continue.
Yeah. So then, so James Cameron directs it, makes this beautiful film. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys have watched it. I
Terminator.
literally
Sorry
watched that
to interrupt
movie.
you. Terminator was released in 1984.
So he was just coming off
Yeah.
of it.
So
And
he
then-
had just finished it to start doing Aliens.
to start doing Aliens, and then but Cameron had already come off of like some big success off of Terminator, and he was the one that influenced Michael Bain, I think his name is, because he was in that movie. He played John Connor's dad. I forget what's John Connor's dad's name.
Kyle Reese?
Kyle Reese. Yeah, he just played Kyle Reese. Wanted him in that movie. Ended up getting the late great Bill Paxton.
You
to
got
play
a thing for
the
Bill
fucking
Paxton because you
bad-
mentioned him before.
No, I thought she was going to kill you when you confused Paxton for Pullman.
Yeah,
Thank you for correcting me. But that's a thing, man. People for some reason do it, including myself.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but Bill Paxton plays Private Hudson, and like the character, like I feel like that was the movie that kind of shot him to stardom, and which got him like roles like Twister and Big Love on TV on HBO and stuff like that. But
I think Bill Paxton was one of the
him.
good character actors, though. He did a whole bunch of different things. I mean, hell, he was in Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
Played
was
like the punk leader. He was one of the punks.
No, he was no, you're right.
He was also the older brother in Weird Science.
Yes.
Tash.
Yeah.
Just to quickly mention one thing about the Alien movies. You know how it actually has them, traveling interstellarly into other solar systems and everything? That's actually a Type 3 type of society.
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that because in Aliens, which is the second one, the whole point of the movie is for them to go rescue a colony. So the like with Ripley, they go with like a whole bunch of like army troops, and they go and they land in this colony, and they have to go find the people from this colony. But then the only person they find alive is this little girl named Newt. So it's interesting that you put that scale into perspective, because that would mean, yeah, they would be like a tier 3, I guess,
Yeah.
So my question is,
on that scale.
what society would the aliens from Predator be?
They're definitely a type 3. There are more advanced type 3 trying to lean into type 4.
Yeah.
So wait, what's a
I don't-
type 4?
Okay, so
Because you only spoke about
there's 3.
1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
a type 4 civilization, from what I understand, would be societies that not just go around into different solar systems, but try to go into different galaxies. Try to go into different galaxies and not only be able, but not just, to colonize, but to colonize and conquer.
Okay.
Now,
Now, see, the argument with Predator though is they're coming here.
for
But-
sport.
Yeah, it's like, Earth
The
to
weird
them
thing about
is
this-
like going
sorry.
up north hunting.
So
Yeah,
we're
like,
space
sorry to
boonies?
We're
Let me
space
just
deer,
interrupt
yeah.
you guys
Sorry,
there
Tash.
for a second, because there's a weird thing with the Aliens movies versus the Alien versus Predator movies, where in the Alien versus Predator movies, they state that the aliens and the predators have been alive for before ancient times, like pyramid times.
Ancient aliens, motherfuckers.
They're ancient aliens.
It
Yet
all connects.
yet in the Alien, more towards like the Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which are the more recent films, they say that this android named David made the eggs, made the xenomorphs.
Fucking Dave.
Fucking Michael
yeah,
Fassbender.
Fucking
Son
yeah,
of a bitch.
he's a motherfucker. Anyways, but he made them.
Fucking
So
Magneto.
obviously, there's no continuity between the two
Oh no,
franchises.
the Alien vs Predator movies are like their own standalone things because everybody was
Yeah.
all like, "Yeah, let's see this happen."
What I
Yeah.
Tash, what I understand is David, he actually remodeled an ancient type of creature, which is supposed to be the xenomorph. That's what I understand. That's how I took the movie from the engineers. From the engineers in Prometheus. What's the last one?
The Covenant. Alien
Covenant, yeah.
Covenant.
Is that
Cover-
the one with Danny McBride in it?
Yes.
Yes.
I love how that guy does like alien movies now and like
Yeah.
still does comedy. That guy's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He's so fucking
Eastbound
funny.
and down. Eastbound and
Oh,
down.
but
Joe,
have
how
you
much-
seen his new show?
How much time do we have, Joe?
Not much.
So, can I propose a question before we leave? Then,
Yeah.
we're going to wrap this up.
Oh, gross, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple question. Okay.
I'm worried, Tash. Hold my hand.
I know.
Hold my hand through the phone.
If
Hold
there
my
are
hand.
Phantom Ghost hand. Anyways, right? Happy Halloween.
All right,
if-
continue.
If there are aliens out there,
Okay.
in what kind of scenario would we have first contact? Look, just to put it into perspective, do you ever watch the movie District 9? Remember at the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie, an alien ship just starts hovering over the planet, and
Yeah.
and then they went up, and that was first contact. Okay, if aliens are real, and they came down, and how would they announce it to the world?
I don't think they're worried about announcing it.
No, but what's your
I
first
haven't.
contact scenario? The scenario where they let the world know you are not alone, we exist.
I would argue if Ancient Aliens is true, they're working towards it right now.
Okay, so what's the straw that broke the camel back in a way?
The moment that we as a society are ready. Like you said, apparently if we were to tell the world that these things are actually real, right, it would be, complete chaos.
Okay, so when we're ready to tell the world it's real, how would it be done? Would it be like through the news?
I
Would
feel
there-
like it would be more done like through the whole SETI thing.
Okay, that's actually really
But
good.
it would also depend on who's making first contact. Like, I'm sure as hell do not want Trump to be anywhere near where they're doing first contact.
Oh
like,
my
I
God,
hope
That-
happens in
that old-
If it happens with Trump in power, it's going to be like Mars Attacks.
Oh my, no,
Yeah.
no. You know that old trope,
Exactly
take us to your
right.
leader? Take us to your leader? Our first question should be, why? Are you planning
Why?
on taking him? Or are you planning on meeting him? What's
If
your
you-
end game here?
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if they took him and everybody was like, yeah, except all the
Yeah,
white
and
supremacists?
I would be like, oh, if you're planning on taking him, you could take Mike Pence with him too. You just
Yeah, I know.
take him with you.
He'll start a whole fucking thing against space gays or something. That
I
fucking
know,
freak.
yeah, it's so weird. But I think that the well, I would hope that the contact is more of a peaceful situation. I would really hope that they would, go to a country that's not the United States, because I would be so afraid to have the United States be involved, especially the United States right now. The United States when Barack Obama was around is a different United States than it is now.
Very
So
true.
I would want them to maybe make contact with like Japan or China or something
What
like that
about
rather
us?
than the
Not
US.
China. Please, not
What
China.
about us?
Or
Canada.
well, we don't even know what we want over here either.
Um, funny, just a very quick
I
funny.
hate to say it, but even the conservative leader is better than than fucking Donald Trump, and I don't even like him.
Yeah. Yeah, like well, just for our American listeners, we don't even we will probably, I don't know, but
We'll
we're
know by the
deciding
time
our
this
Prime
episode.
Minister-
Yeah, by the time this episode is
on.
posted,
Yeah.
we may have a new prime minister or
Yeah.
the same.
We'll see.
we're the same.
So,
I'm hoping for the same. To be honest,
I'm hoping
I
for the same too.
I really like Prime Minister Trudeau, and I am not afraid to admit it. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I have no opinion.
You being a staunch conservative and all.
Yeah, look at me. I'm such a conservative. The only thing I conserve is fat. Anyways, okay.
Gross.
Gross.
And on that
Tash,
note,
funny little story on.
no more
Tash.
stories.
No,
You
no,
say
no.
too many stories.
Do you know that President Harry Truman, he was a firm believer in the extraterrestrial to the point where he actually said that yes, they exist and they are real. We've made contact, but no one takes that shit seriously. In my ideal first contact scenario, it would actually be how you describe it. It would be
like
a
dinner, going to dinner.
going to dinner, yeah. or introducing them. It's like introducing your ex to your new husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's an awkward situation, but
All
it needed to be
catered by
done.
Wolfgang Puck.
Manny's used to it. He has so many wives that he's
Oh
introduced
my
his
god!
exes to.
I know that we brought this up very late in the episode, but what would aliens eat? Okay, we'll have to talk about that another time.
I've seen the Simpsons episode. It's people. We all know.
Or if it's like War of the Worlds, they like harvest our organs and shit like
And
that.
they can't
That's
even
weird.
do it because they miscalculated and they die from oxygen.
No, it wasn't
I
oxygen. It was
know,
microbes.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, microbes.
Microbes, yeah. And God's tiniest creatures led to their downfall.
yeah. But I hope it would be friendly because
A case of Lysol would have fixed everything for them.
yeah, I would want everything to be peaceful because we don't want any like panic or anything ensuing around here.
Or an extraterrestrial a
Way to
society
bring
that
this
can.
fun episode down,
No,
Manuel.
no.
You son of a bitch.
I didn't. Wasn't me this
know.
time.
What do you mean it wasn't you? It is you.
It's always you. Even
It's
when
always-
I do it, it's you.
Wasn't it? So this episode,
Yeah.
just to recap before we go off the air,
Oh no.
I've
we
learned
don't
that.
need- I'll be honest,
What's
we
the name
don't
of that
really-
alien guy from Men in Black? What was it? That you said
You're,
that
you're Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't remember his name.
Vincent- I've learned
He's
them.
just the bug.
I've learned them both Vincent D'Onofrio,
D'Onofrio.
and the Trump of this episode.
It took you 91 episodes to figure it out.
Oh yeah, episode 91. We never announced that.
The audience doesn't need to know what episode it is. If they're listening, they know. If
They
they're not
know.
listening,
It's
they
it's
know
a lot
now.
of episodes.
Exactly. There's a lot there to listen to. Listen to the back
Okay,
catalog.
last question. Out of any one of us is going to be probed by the aliens?
Dwayne.
Why
Gwen?
Dwayne? Because he's not in this episode. We haven't mentioned him yet. Dwayne.
You just want to... Hold on. You said Dwayne's going to get probed by
Dwayne's
an
going to
alien?
get probed, yeah.
Yeah, because you'll be the one to point him out, you son of a bitch.
Thank you for going with that, not with the other obvious one.
What, that you're going to do the probing?
God, just...
That's just your dream, and
Yeah,
don't want to do
gross.
that. Okay.
I definitely think they're gonna take Manny and then like literally just throw him off, like throw him out the door while they're in air.
And on that note, this has been the No Inner Monologue podcast.
I think Gwen has an image now to draw.
What, you getting probed or thrown out of a spaceship?
Thrown out, you jackass.
So Manny's thrown out a spaceship, but like me and Joe just kind of standing there, just hugging the
Getting
aliens. So that is the picture.
That's the drawing. Dwen's getting probed, Manny's being thrown out of a spaceship, and you and I are hugging the aliens. I'm in.
Yeah. You
And
know
on the
why?
ground,
'Cause they're black.
E.T.'s dialing a 900 number.
So, for the No Inner Monologue podcast, I'm Joey Mangione. With me in studio is the creepiest of uncles.
The not getting thrown out of a spaceship, Manny.
And on the phone, it is...
Tasha Morrison.
That's it. All right, thank you for listening, guys. And,
Keep listening for the stars.
yes, the truth is out there. And please, do not choose combo number 5.
This episode of the No Inner Monologue was brought to you by...
How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, the host of the Convoluted Podcast, where I get a chance to talk with people from around the world and from my own backyard about the things they love, careers they have, hobbies they enjoy, projects they're working on, and along the way, they tell us some wacky stories, and we get to play some games. Join us on the Convoluted Podcast, everywhere podcasts can be found.